Hello everyone, Eternal Flame here to do a video talking about the potential of Yuji mastering the Black Flash. Now this video exists for a total of 3 purposes. The first purpose is to convince you guys that it is possible for Yuji to master the Black Flash. The second is to talk about how strong I think Yuji would be with the Black Flash. And the third is most of all, why it's been set up, and this is the most consistent thing that's been set up for Yuji to get a power-up with of mastering the Black Flash. However, before we even get into this video, be sure to subscribe if you like anime content like this. I do have a goal of hitting 3K, we're really close, so without further ado, let's get straight into the vid. So up first, I'm going to talk about what the Black Flash even is before we even get into any of that. I do have a video explaining the Black Flash and going much more in depth with it than I'm going to go here. The Black Flash is done via manipulating your cursed energy and making it go to the certain spot it needs to go within the time frame that is necessary of 1/trillionth of a second. Something that most people can't do at will. Not because it requires luck, even though luck is certainly a factor to play into it for people who haven't mastered it, but also because of just how fast your cursed energy control even needs to be. Even Gojo Satoru with his 6 eyes is not able to use the Black Flash at will because of how fast you need to manipulate your cursed energy. However, upon using the Black Flash, not just does it amp you physically for the rest of your life, you get an amp from using the Black Flash, you also in the immediate moment get a 2.5 exponential amp. However, I do not believe that you actually get a 2.5 exponential amp in the story. It's just said for out of verse and just so numbers can look really cool and Gege likes really cool numbers. But it is said that the Black Flash's initial hit is just massively more powerful in comparison to the original, and it's very heavily implied. So you can already tell that the Black Flash is an incredibly huge thing, that no one has mastered because of how fast you have to actually make your cursed energy flow. The person who held the record before the start of the series was a sorcerer known as Nanami Kento, who was able to do it 4 times consecutively, until Yuji was able to tie and surpass that record in his fight against Hanami. However, it hasn't been since the Mahito fight since we have seen Yuji use another Black Flash, or anyone use another Black Flash, but that is for one reason and one reason alone, and that is because of the state Yuji's mentality was in, where he was so rage-filled or so sadness-filled, or because of who he was fighting, that he couldn't use the Black Flash. For example, against Sukuna, he was way too angry to use the Black Flash properly on him, which we know a calm mind is necessary in order to use the Black Flash. Against Higuruma, his cursed energy was turned off and caused him to only work physically and not with the Black Flash or any cursed energy usage in that fight. However, I actually do believe there is another reason why Yuji is not able to use the Black Flash after Shibuya arc, but he's able to use it now, which I'm going to get into now. The reason that I don't think Yuji was able to use the Black Flash was because of the state his mind was in, where he was in a state of absolute depression by that point, and just focusing his emotions away, purely because he had to deal with all of the emotions of Shibuya and actually properly processing that. Processing the fact that he was responsible for the destruction of the city, responsible for the fact that Nanami died because he couldn't get there on time to save him, responsible for the fact that he couldn't save Nobara and was too weak, responsible for the fact that Todo lost his hand because of him. However, I think the battle with Higuruma was very important in actually helping Yuji escape from that mentality that he was only a cog. Sure, yes, he wasn't actually feeling better about what he had done or what Sukuna had done in his body, but he was now able to actually start being able to feel better because of Higuruma's help, and that is what I believe the importance of Higuruma's battle was, because Yuji was set up to master the Black Flash for a while. One of the biggest examples is when the line was said by the narrator that while Yuji is not able to use the Black Flash at will, he is so amazing that you will think that he is using the Black Flash at will. And if that's not set up for Yuji to actually be able to master the Black Flash in the future, I don't know what is. Yes, it's the same from the narrator, no one's mastered the Black Flash or no one can use the Black Flash at will. I do believe that Yuji has the potential to master the Black Flash, and it has been set up with how good and how skilled he has been shown to be with the Black Flash. There's a reason why no one has surpassed him in Black Flash records by this point, and it's the most set up power-up for him. Far more set up than even the soul stuff, which you would have to look more deep into. The Black Flash power-up is right in front of us and right in front of everyone's eyes of being potentially there and being the potential power-up for Yuji to get. And I have seen a lot of people talk about it as well. The potential of Yuji mastering the Black Flash and why that will be his endgame power-up. And I actually do think that's the most likely one to be his endgame power-up because it's been set up for him. And he's now in a much better state mentally to be able to truly use the Black Flash at will. Sure, yes, he doesn't forgive himself for Sukuna taking over his body and being able to do all the destruction he did. He's still able to move forward now and be focused on taking out Sukuna. And what does the Black Flash require above all else? Focus. It requires an incredibly focused mind, and never have we seen Yuji before being so focused for a month straight, as well as taking out Sukuna once and for all. Never have we seen Yuji in this absolute state of pure raw focus before, because now he had a month to train, a month to get better with his anger, a month a month to get better with his anger, a month to control himself and figure out how things worked, figure out how to manipulate his cursed energy better. Do I think Yuji's mastered his Black Flash right now? If I'm going to be completely honest, no. I think Yuji needs one more battle of pushing. One more battle to push him into the state where he can truly master the Black Flash, which is what I think his battle against Sukuna is going to be. However, that's just me proving why I think Yuji has mastered the Black Flash, or has a lot of setup to master the Black Flash, whether right now or against Sukuna directly. Now I'm going to get into how much stronger the Black Flash should make Yuji overall, and more importantly, what the effects of Yuji mastering the Black Flash will have on the narrative as well as Yuji's overall power level. So first, let me just tell you guys how strong Yuji is. I have an entire several videos just dedicated to how strong Yuji is, so those are going to be up on screen now. But long story short, Yuji is relative to Maki. He is relative in every single category to Maki is in terms of power and speed. And that is without using the Black Flash, and that is not accounting for the month-long of training and negativity amps he would be getting because, say it with me now, negative emotions amplify Yuji because they amplify his cursed energy. So let's just say Yuji stayed at the entire same power level across the 1 month time skip for a bare minimum assumption. So basically, among the Jujutsu students and Team Jujutsu not counting Gojo, he is basically a solid number 4 among the group. Number 5, depending on how strong you think Choso really got from the Kenjaku battle, but he's really just number 4. I'm not counting Kashimo among that group, by the way. But he is a very solid number 4. Now you're effectively giving him the Black Flash multiplier constantly for every single one of his attacks. In terms of raw striking power, this is going to put Yuji above every single one of them. So he should easily be the strongest among the big Jujutsu students right now if he was able to awaken the ability to master the Black Flash. Furthermore, this same buff should also apply to both his speed and his durability due to cursed energy reinforcement amplifying both of those in the process, and in theory it should be possible to use the Black Flash to defend yourself as well as amplify your speed. It's just most people can barely use it to attack people, let alone defend yourself, so most people don't really consider it a possibility. We also know that Black Flash can help you with understanding a curse technique, and it can be used on projectiles. We know it can help you with understanding a curse technique because of Mahito, and through Mahito performing the Black Flash twice, he was able to learn how to perform the instant body of distorted killing. Why did Mahito make that name so long? Anyways, and Nobara was able to use it on her nails to perform Black Flash from a range. So furthermore, if Yuji were to throw rocks at people, it would be able to be Black Flash infused rocks, similar to what he did against Helicopter Man. And if Yuji has a curse technique at all, he will be able to further advance that curse technique much heavier on a different level if he has full mastery of the Black Flash. Furthermore, he should have basic mastery over every single application of Jujutsu that he learned up to this point. For example, if he learned new Shadow Style from Kusakabe, he's able to use it near perfectly, etc. Like, basically, if he has unlocked the Black Flash, he's going to be insanely powerful. Now, is this enough power to 1v1 someone of Sukuna's status? In my opinion, it is, but it will still result in a loss on Yuji's side. Because Yuji, while with the Black Flash, I think he's going to be insanely strong if he truly mastered the Black Flash, I do not think it's going to be strong enough to surmount the difference between Sukuna and Yuji, and I still think it would require a 2v1 of Yuji and Megumi versus Sukuna to truly defeat Sukuna. Even with what would be a massive power-up of the mastery of the Black Flash, it is just because of how far and away Sukuna really is in strength in comparison to everyone else. While the Black Flash would help to surmount that gap, it wouldn't help to surpass it even in a mastered state, in my opinion. We also know that you can still use cursed energy to defend yourself even when in domains. For example, look at Dagon's domain, because if they weren't able to use cursed energy to defend themselves, Dagon's fish would have torn through each of them near immediately. So this would help Yuji's durability and not cause Yuji to insta-die if Sukuna ended up calling out Malevolent Shrine. But what I think is the most interesting thing of what this could do is it could potentially give Yuji full mastery of the soul even farther than the level that Mahito was able to do. So maybe it could give Yuji access to idol transfiguration on a soul-based level of himself, but not other people, allowing him to change his own soul and access other people's soul to talk with them, but not actually change the shape of their own soul. I don't really know. What is for sure is that if Yuji were to master the Black Flash, he'd get a massive increase to all of his stats. He'd maybe get the potential to learn Reverse Curse technique relatively easily, and he would be able to use all of the applications of Jujutsu that he had learned up to this point with relative ease. At this point, I don't even think he would need a Curse technique because of just how massive of an amp that mastering the Black Flash would be for Yuji. However, that's just my opinion on what I think Mastering the Black Flash would do for him, and I want to see what you guys think. Maybe I'm overrating Yuji right now, or I'm underrating how big of an amp that would be. Maybe this would make Yuji like top 1 in the verse. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to leave that down to you. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm going to see you all later. Peace.